Hey boys and girls, we're right here next to the KIN, K-N. So this is the new Kia, actually. This is their new logo. Scott's been talking quite a bit about it, so.
Yeah, I mean, so this is the 2023 Kia Niro Wave. We're gonna give you some first impressions today. Obviously, we're at the front of the vehicle. One of the things that jumped out, this is their new refreshed badge. Some people, there's been a little bit of ire back and forth about whether or not people think it says Kia, K-I-A, or K-N. Obviously, they're just trying to go with a new styling. I certainly do think it's a little bit more modern than the old badge that just kind of had the block letters, but it's not for everyone. But this is in fact a Kia logo. This isn't some new, different OEM.
It's funny, Ford's had theirs since 1910.
That is fair. That is fair.
Yeah,
if it's not broke, don't fix it. Right?
I don't know. This car, I was expecting a whole lot more. I will tell you right from the get-go, I was expecting this to clobber everybody that was in this price range. We're at what, 40?
Yeah, just around 44K for MSRP. Again, this is the Wave trim levels, so they have a few different trim level options. This one's on the higher side of the content for them, so not inexpensive at where it's at. Couple of key things to point out on this one as far as high level specifics. 64.8 kilowatt hour battery, about 250 miles of range.
Well, hang on a second. That's really kind of important.
Okay.
Because the range and the size of the battery, that is one of the good things I do like, and that's because it's quite a bit lighter.
Yeah, curb weight on this is, I think, 3,721 pounds, which is very light for an EV. Compared to like a Model Y or a Mach-E, those would be 4,500 to 4,800 pounds, depending on what they're optioned with. But this is considerably lighter than that, which plays a big role in the efficiency.
Yes, but that means that they had to eliminate something that weighs a lot, and that would be the other electric motor. So you eliminate a motor and all the paraphernalia that goes along with it. I can see about 400 pounds, maybe 500, but they've also done something to lighten up the rest of it.
Sure.
One thing that I did like is the charger in the front.
Front-mounted charge port.
That's that's one of the things that I really do think is a good idea. I'm really hoping that we're going to see people moving away from this kind of connector. Now that Elon has said everybody can have his, this to me is just stupid.
Sure.
If you're an engineer, I can't even fit the damn thing in.
That's for the bottom one.
Yeah, I'm trying, but it doesn't want to cooperate. But anyway, for the engineering part of my body, I keep looking at why do I need all this mess when I can just have the Tesla thing, and it's lighter and it charges the same amount. The only thing is it's liquid cooled, and all the other guys are trying to just kill you with cables. So anyway, I don't want to get into that. I will tell you that from the front, it looks a little bit different. At least it's symmetrical, and it kind of looks like a Hyundai Kia kind of style. But man, when we start moving around, woohoo! I don't want to say I lost it, but I definitely was shocked.
If you like the i3 styling, I feel like you'll like this. It kind of reminds me of that in the rear with the two-tone and some of the mixed trim there.
Nah, this looks.
What do you think of it, Sandy?
No. If you drive down the street and you see some guy and he's got a brown door and a green door and the car is painted yellow, that's kind of what it reminds me of. And this, I don't know what they were thinking, but this doesn't do it for me. I would never buy this trim level. This just makes the car look ugly. And when you're standing back here, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but this color is the same as that, but because you're always going to have shadow, this turns out to be lighter. And quite frankly, that gives the color scheme, it makes it even worse. So I don't know who came up with that, but
I will say, I've had a few of those two-tone body panel colored vehicles. They're not
when I was poor.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
But I can tell you for sure that if it's $45,000, I want something that looks a lot better than that.
I will say, I do believe this is an optional sort of accent color. So if it tickled your fancy, you could get this in all white configuration here. But there was something else I know, Sandy, you caught that was kind of unique going on behind this panel that you're not so much a fan of.
Like this. This has got a vent. It goes from here to there. And I think what it does, we haven't taken it apart well, we can't take this one apart. But what I think it does is that it cools the LEDs. LEDs get kind of warm, so by having this flow through, I can get rid of something that would have to chill them down and whatnot. I think it's a good idea, and there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
So this part's good. If we look at it from the back, again, it looks like a Hyundai Kia, and I like that. Also like the fact that this thing opens on its own. The area that you've got for you know, trunk space or hatch space, whatever you want to call it, is quite good. These are, oh, wow, that one's tough. Anyhow, you've got a fair amount of space back here, and it's well appointed. I mean, it does look really kind of cool. The space underneath the lid here is
Looks like they've got a subwoofer, toolkit, charge cord, inflator kit.
yeah.
So no full-size spare, but they've got an inflator and sealant if you're on the side of the road for that. Looks like maybe another little toolkit here. Pretty standard. I know that. And here's a, charge port adapter here.
Just out of curiosity, what is this? Is that just to hold that down?
Looks like it, and we've seen that in a couple other vehicles
Really?
recently. They may, my bet would be that they probably, based on the size of this, offer a spare, even if it's a compact, but when you get the subwoofer, you probably can't get that. So in the ones that have the spare tire, I'll bet you that probably holds it down to the floor.
Yep, it does. And you can see where the spare used to be or could be if you didn't get the subwoofer.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Pick your
I'd rather
poison there.
have, well, these tires don't blow up every, 5,000 miles like in the olden days. So for
That
me,
said-
I'd rather have the sound system than,
Yeah, I'm with you there. Very cool.
yeah.
You know, it is interesting here. I know this was something we saw on the Ioniq, on this liftgate trim. Again, if you come to the outside here, this is like that sort of exposed rib structure. I mean, I'll be the first to say it's not super handsome in that regard, but that's something you barely ever see. And, you know, when you think about cost reduction, I mean, they're definitely keeping cost. They're making cost-conscious
if
decisions.
they want to make
here.
a cost reduction example, we go back to one of my other, what the hell were you thinking? This is a bolt-on pull handle. But why? I have this button. When you
there.
push the button, it goes down. And if it doesn't work, if there's something does go wrong, if you look at anybody that's got a hatchback, guess what? You're going to find fingerprints all along here because nobody ever uses this damn thing. This is a great idea. As far as I'm concerned, this to me is clever. I like that idea. This,
Get rid of the handle.
not so much, yeah. So let's have a look at what goes on inside. Okay, so let's look at the first thing right here. I love this idea. I hate the execution. I mean, I think that everybody should have a grab handle here. This can go. I don't need this. I mean, I don't even know how to, unless you're driving with a maniac and you need to have something to hold on to.
Sure.
But this is a great idea. But look at this execution. Holy are you kidding me? Look at that. Ooh,
That is
somebody
quite
needs
a
to
parting line
get a
there.
spanking for that one.
Do you think this is intentionally there for a grab
Yeah,
handle?
I do, because when you get in, well, when I got in,
Sure.
I grabbed
was
that
where you
thing.
reached
It
for.
was like your eye spots it before your brain catches up. I
Sure.
love this thing. This part I really do like. And like I say, I like the idea, but I don't like the execution. There's got to be a better way of doing this with a big crack here and whatnot. But this is really good. I think if I was going to design a car, I never thought of it before, but I'd put something like that in. But the rear seats, I think, are relatively comfortable. The seats aren't all the way back, but when they were, I still had maybe 2-3 inches, so it's big enough for at least 2 adults and a kid. So
Pretty well appointed back here. I mean,
Yeah.
it is, but you see a juxtaposition. They've got some pretty premium feeling seats. I think they do highlight a lot of recycled material in the content. We'll have to look more into
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
but you know, also again, coming back to, they're making some cost-conscious decisions. They didn't wrap this. This is a lot of exposed hard plastic. I do think it's funny though, to your point about the grab handles overhead, the Ioniq 5, which is I think even another step up in terms of content, they don't have any grab handles in that one. So they kind of took the page out of the Tesla playbook and completely eliminated them. But yet then on this one, they're back. So kind of inconsistent
Well,
there.
they got triples, right? 1, 2, 3. I don't quite get that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, per side. Six
Sure.
per side. But at the end of the day, I love this. This is a really good idea, and I can feel that there's iron in back of this, so it's not going to wear out or anything. I like that. From the door panels and whatnot, for what you're paying and what you're getting, nothing wrong with this. This is all good as far as I'm concerned.
A lot of hard plastic though up top.
Yeah,
like
it is.
this-
It's all hard
This
plastic.
upper band, this
Yeah.
mid bolster.
But it's they grained it, so it's kind of it's not. They've got the one little padded part where you put your elbow, and that's
Yeah.
really and truly all the padding that I would need.
Sure.
So,
I don't disagree. I do think though in a vehicle when most people are spending between 40 and 50, they expect to probably have a bit more soft material up there.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, kudos to Hyundai Kia if they can sell it at this price.
yeah.
I think it's there's some conservative measures as far as the design is concerned. This is probably if they can sell it for what they have it listed at, this will be a profitable vehicle for them.
I think that initially when I looked at it, I was thinking maybe 10 grand lighter, and maybe that's because I really despise that that second color there.
Sure.
But I really think that at 44 grand or 45 grand, whatever it is, these guys are going to be rolling in dough. Only one motor and whatnot. Now I haven't driven this, and I probably won't get the chance because I'm taking off for Saudi Arabia. But I think that Gina drove it, and she classified it as spiffy and quick.
Spiffy.
She liked it. Okay, but
That's funny.
that's the only that's the only that's the only person that I've talked to that's driven this thing, and she said it's a lot like a Bolt, and that's probably true. It
Sure.
probably will be a lot like a Chevy Bolt. So anyhow, yeah. So this is you can buy this car either as an EV or as an ICE vehicle. That is an HEV. Is it?
It's a PHEV, plug-in hybrid.
Plug-in
Yep.
hybrid. Yeah. So personally, I wouldn't touch that with a barge pull because basically you get the worst of all worlds. So you
Yeah.
get two drive systems and on and on. Not for me.
It surprises me, and honestly, I think that might be one of the drivers of cost in the vehicle, why it costs as much as it is. You have some inefficiencies when you design a platform to try and
Yeah.
support multiple powertrains. Maybe that's why they're having to do that. What do you think, Sandy, of this? This is kind of like this is one of the biggest piano black interior pieces I've ever seen.
Okay, so we all know what I think about chrome and piano black. So piano black should be reserved for pianos. and I don't like it because I have a wife. See, look at, oh my goodness.
There's some
I'm a
fingerprints.
greasy guy, I guess, because I can put fingerprints all over this, and my wife will go crazy, and she'll be continuously drive me nuts. We look inside here, and we can see that this is. Normally, we'd see beauty covers and things like that. So, I think in some cases that that's a good idea, and this is the one case. That is your frunk. Why? I mean, if we're looking at reducing cost and weight, let's just get rid of this net. I don't know. This looks like it might be big enough for a purse
Charge
and my
cable or
wallet.
something,
No,
maybe.
no, my wallet. That's
Yeah.
I put my wallet in here. That's about it.
Yeah.
And this is like a waste of money. I just can't believe that they did this. And one of the other things I noticed was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Okay, two things come about. Why do I need that much in the way of bolting down for a plastic box?
Sure.
And secondly, if 3 works over there, and I could probably go for 2, why would I need 4 in the front when I could probably go for 2? I mean, this doesn't warp. There's no
Sure.
heat in the front of the car, so I don't get it. But this, I don't.
The front, it's kind of an interesting thing. If you have an ample amount of space where it's actually functional, yeah, put the front in there. It's a nice feature. But I think with this one, it's sort of comically small. And again, we know that this supports multiple architectures. This kind of looks like if you tried to shoehorn a frunk into an engine bay that wasn't really designed as an exclusively EV platform.
Wow.
This is what you get.
Let's think about it for a second. So we can see where the seal-off point is here, and the seal-off point is here. Okay, so let's just draw an imaginary line. I could make it a whole lot deeper if I got rid of the lid, right? All I need is, let's take this and put a seal around that. So when you open it, boom, you've got a frunk, and guess what? It's going to be that much taller, okay? And because I don't need to bolt anything down over there, I mean, I'm just going to be looking at a tray. I'll snap that in place. I don't need anything. And now I can make it this much longer. And I don't know why this side I can, they wanted symmetry.
Sure.
But if I just have a big open box, I can go to here. So I could make it about 2 inches, 2 inches wider here, and 2 to 3 inches longer, and another 3 inches
4,
there.
Sure.
I could triple the size of this thing without any problem at all. I might have to move the bottle. That's it. That's all I'd have to do. So Kia, free consulting.
One more free consulting tip for them here, and then
Wait a minute, are you allowed to do?
Oh, I don't know, maybe too many in one. I don't know. You
Go
tell
ahead.
me.
No,
You sign the checks. So, and it's just curious, right? The EV6. I was just looking at this the other day. It's an EV. You look under the hood. They don't have a silencer because it's not an ICE vehicle, and they don't have the same amount of noise.
Yeah.
Yet in this one, they're paying probably $5 to $10 for this PET silencer up here. If we look under the hood of the Model S Plaid, or the EV6, or the Porsche Taycan, no silencer, it's just bare sheet metal. So it's like, guys, just get rid of this. There's no reason to have that. And they already don't on some of their other vehicles.
Guess what I'm pushing on?
What are you pushing on?
I'm pushing on another silencer that obviously was made for an ICE vehicle. So this is chump change. That is expensive. It's got screws, it's got snaps, it's got sealant. Hey, you know what? If this is going to sell for 44 grand and we're not getting any money for it, that's it. No more nothing. You got it.
Fair
you want any more, you'll have to hire us. Anyhow, thanks very much for watching. Scott, thank you.
Sandy,
Always
thanks
good
for
to
letting
work
me
with
tag
you.
along. Appreciate it.
So anyways, go out, try one of these things out, see what you think. Don't get the one with that ugly trim piece
the
on
gray
it.
panel, sure.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll be talking. Thanks so much for watching Monroe Live.